Welcome back. Now, Sri Lanka has a new president. The former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has been put in the post by the country's parliament. Sri Jagarajah is in Colombo with the latest on that story. Morning, Sri.
Good morning, Tabo. In fact, he's a sixth-time Prime Minister. Ranil Wickremesinghe is now Sri Lanka's eighth executive president. He will be sworn in and take the oath in a rather low-key ceremony later on this morning. We haven't got any exact visibility as to whether he will address the nation, but we are hearing that he may do so sometime tomorrow on Friday. By the numbers, he won 134 parliamentary votes. He needed 113 to win, so he sailed past that number in the 225 member assembly. So now the hard work begins, but I've got to say that this was something of a controversial decision to make as it relates to Ranil Wickremesinghe himself and his political track record and the associations, and as it relates to the entire parliamentary process, although it is mandated under the Constitution. As far as Ranil is concerned and how he is perceived by the people, controversial as I said, he is perceived, or strongly perceived by many in Sri Lanka, as a proxy for the former president Gotabaya Rajapaksa. So that is going to be an issue in terms of those associations and how he is potentially tainted by that and perceived by the Aragalaya mass movement themselves. They have made it very clear, the protesters have made it very clear that they do not have confidence and they do not see President Ranil Wickremesinghe as a legitimate president. And Sri Lankans are also not happy with the way this parliamentary vote was conducted. Many feel that he was selected as opposed to elected. That's an issue. Many see this as a secret ballot and not a people's vote. So there is some pressure building here for an election, although Ranil Wickremesinghe himself has said it's very clear that he will serve out the full 2.5-year term that remains of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Nevertheless, the opposition do seem to be prepared to work with him, and we drove past the President's and the Prime Minister's official residences and private residences yesterday, which were really the lightning rod of protesters, and they in fact tried to set Ranil Wickremesinghe's house on fire not too long ago. It was very quiet there. So it's very clear that there is a wait-and-see mood out here in the capital, Colombo, and it seems that the protesters, the Aragalaya movement, very low-key right now, and it seems like they are considering their next move. So it's a big open question as to whether they are going to push on or whether they will back down. The other issue here is that Ranil Wickremesinghe and his leadership team and the cabinet really need to move very, very quickly in terms of jump-starting the IMF negotiations to secure external funding and financing to really break the back of this economic crisis. Yesterday, we were talking to Sri Lankans in central Colombo who have been queuing for not hours, but days in lineups that are 4 to 5 kilometers long. So that is an indication, a very stark indication of the economic reality that Sri Lankans still face. Crippling shortages, Tamor, of food, fuel and medicine. Back to you now.